unmute your mic and share what is the principle you learned. What was the lesson you learned? What did you like about it? Or if you have questions, we open up to clarity. In fact, everybody who's in the waiting room, let's, Dorena, can we pull everybody, Felly, Dorena, Terry, Ron, if we can pull everybody into the main room now? We want to open this section up to questions. You can ask our millionaires. We got Dr. Terry Wagers on the call. We've got Mitch Jorski's on the call, Kim Rodriguez, Melanie Santos. We got millionaires on the call. We got our celebrity coaches. Like I said, Mitch Jorski's here, Dr. Terry Wager, Mike Shine is here. Celebrity coaches, they've written books on their subject. Go ahead, unmute the mics. First unmute goes, you just drop your hands up and that will let us know who's going, or you can just unmute your mic. Amy, you're up.
Yes, I have a question. So is it okay to have two different strategies to get to my goal, or should I really be focusing on just one thing to get me to that point that I'm looking to get to?
Great question. If you're a solopreneur, one strategy. If you have a partner, you could do two, but it may be more powerful to have both of you on the same one. I would choose the strategy that is most easy for you to get into today and is most powerful, but have the other one written down and ready to go. Because if you identify that this one's not working, you want to be able to shift over to one that does work.
Okay.
Or once this one is done very well, you want to now take on a partner to do that other one. Do you want to go into specific strategies? Would be interested, Hans Cameron would be interested to find out what strategy she's referring to. I think that some, qualifying information might help me make a better choice.
So I feel like they kind of go in line. So I think I could do both at the same time. So obviously one of my goals is to help others on their path to becoming a millionaire, but also, getting into wholesaling and helping investors in the community find deals.
Oh, excellent. So you can build millionaires through helping them find deals. You can absolutely have two strategies kind of be together. So your Millionaire Path Consulting can also line people up to get access to deals, right? You can connect them to people who have deals. Yeah, absolutely. So some things are symbiotic. They're not really two different ideas, they're symbiotic ideas. They're additions to what's already working. That's a perfect example. Absolutely. Let's give Amy a round of applause. I love that. Hell yeah. Urban, go ahead, brother.
Before I ask my question, I'm just gonna give you a little update and a little thank you. So after some of our conversations, I ended up finding a company that I'm going through with right now. So I'll have my first. I'm gonna be looking at revising the ghostwriter once they have 2,500 pages and 7,500 words on the 29th. So I just want to thank you for that. Now I'm working on those other aspects too. But now with my question, so how do you fight that voice in your subconscious that's going against that belief and that person you're trying to be, once you have that purpose set?
And now that voice, what is that voice saying, Thurban?
I guess it says this feels wrong, this doesn't make any sense, what you're trying to do, you don't have the answers. I think that's the voice I hear a lot.
I'm gonna pass this off to Dr. Terry Wager, because I believe if there was somebody qualified to talk about what those voices in our head are saying and what power they have over us, it would be Dr. Terry Wager. Dr. Terry?
Yeah, you're talking about fear versus faith. If you have a plan, if you've created a plan and you're working that plan, your head's always going to tell you that it's not going to work, that there's going to be problems. And a lot of that is us looking for what problems might be. But what happens is a lot of times our ego is so fast, it removes that this might be a problem. And all of a sudden we think it is and we can't do it, instead of the reality of the sentence being, there might be a problem here. We're like, no, there's a problem. We got to stop. And so if we give into that voice, we end up stopping all of the time. And this is where you see people hesitating, whether they're getting into a deal or they're trying to start a new venture or whatever. The voice is always going to come up with what's going to get in the way. And for everybody on this call, the reality is you're not where you want to be because you're listening too much to that voice. And so when you have a plan and you're working your plan, the plan is a fact and the voice is coming from our emotions. And so we got to quit taking our own bad advice. We got to stop listening to ourselves, and we got to work our plan no matter what. And when we work our plan, we start to get the results. And so I always talk about explore, experiment, and experience. What's happening most of the time is we stop exploring and we start listening to the voice, and we just stop do what the voice says. It says, don't do it. It always says, don't do it. It's weird that voice doesn't pop up and go, hey, do more. You got to actually confront it in a loving way, not fighting with it, but in a loving way. Okay, I appreciate you don't think we can do it. Let's do the experiment and let's experience what happens and then adjust from there. So go into the danger. take the action, see what happens, and you're going to see a whole different outcome.
Thank you.
Let's give Thurman a round of applause. Great question. And Dr. Tara Wager, great answer. Kim Rodriguez, I saw your hand up.
Thank you, Walter. That is a great question, a great answer, Terry. And I think no matter how long you're doing anything, do people still have doubts? Do they still get that anxiety? Do they still think, I know you got to get out of your head, but when it comes up again, like, why does it keep coming up again?
That's a great question. And I got to say that August 5th, 6th, and 7th, Generator Business Bootcamp, we're going to spend a whole day talking about this very thing. It's inner game. And the reality is our doubt is always going to be a part of us because we have that part of us that's always looking to keep us safe. And so we're always going to have some of that doubt. And the reality of that doubt is it doesn't mean we can't move forward. It means that's where we actually get our energy from. And a lot of times people interpret, we talked about a lot of times over the last 3 years, that people interpret anxiety as anxiety instead of excitement. And it's the same feeling, but our head and our protector is going to change excitement feeling into fear because of our past stories.
So what you're saying is that feeling never goes away. You just redirect it, which it's okay to redirect it, because I'm expecting the feeling to change and I keep redirecting it, but I'm expecting it to feel a little bit different.
Here's the funny thing. That's the voice actually telling you that when we've conquered, it's going to go away.
Yeah.
And so then we never really able to conquer it and we never think we're going to, but it's never going to go away. It's kind of like our ego is our spacesuit. We need it for the journey. When we understand that that voice is always going to be there, it's not the voice of reason. Well, I guess it is the voice of reason if you think about it. It's the voice of reason, but our reasoning always stops us from being unreasonable and moving forward faster or moving forward more powerful. Because it's in that experimental phase that we actually get the growth. And so you guys want to hear more about this? Sign up for Generator Business Bootcamp if you're not already going. It's going to be an amazing 3 days.
You know what? For everybody in New England, and I do want to go back to that, Kim. I do want to answer. I want to give my side of this. We face it, but I do want to say for Generator Business Bootcamp, this is a very different event from the other ones we've been doing. Everything else has been in Orlando. We're actually going to go back up to Rhode Island. Hands cam if you're close to Rhode Island. If you're in Massachusetts, Connecticut, or Rhode Island, it's for you guys. The reason we're doing this one back in the Rhode Island area is because most of our business owners or entrepreneurs are from back where we grew up. So we're going to be flying back. We're going to spend 3 days with everybody, and we're going to be focusing on drilling in sales, marketing, business strategies that are working right now. Terry and I jumped on a call yesterday. He asked me to do a social media piece. And so I won't be doing, make some posts, make some comments. I'm going to be talking about the social media piece, the one social media strategy that is making all of the money right now, not some BS post 100 times a day. Like, I know you guys can't compete with me. I post 50 times a day. It's impossible without a team of 3. But what I am going to give you is a strategy that you can use right now in this market to maximize the return on investment, a way to increase your business, your deal flow, using something we call social dynamics. And if you have already taken my social dynamics training on Alchemist Nation, don't worry. In August, I'm going to be doing that training live in person for about 45 minutes, an hour. I'm going to teach you how to draw in the biggest influencers in your market and get them to bring you clients. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful resource. And if you have any question on whether it still works, watch me over the next couple of weeks. I'll be implementing it myself so that at the event, I can show you exactly what I did. I'll be able to say, this is exactly what I did over the last 4 weeks. You're welcome. Now go do it yourself, because I'm putting 1,000 people in the summit, and I really want you to be able to do that with me, be a part of that. Hands camera, if that makes sense. Everything I do is self-serving. Absolutely. The more you succeed, the more I succeed. So thank you for your success. Now, Kim, why is it that we keep remembering the things that are negative for ourselves, like that false belief, that imposter syndrome? Why does it keep coming up? Because it's part of our past. It's part of the establishment, right? It's just like hypnosis. All it is every time you see a red light, you stop, right? The first thing you think of is stop, because red light. When you see a stop sign, right, it says stop on it, red, you instantly think I should stop. I should come to a complete stop, because of the programming that's been put inside of your head. It's because the hooks, anchors, and triggers around those things that you see every single day. So changing them is work. And that's what, Dr. Terry Wager talked about, and is what we're always focused on. It's what today's lesson was. It's creating that definiteness and then moving yourself into it so that one day you do wake up and you believe this all belongs to you. Right? One day you do wake up and you don't question yourself anymore. So Kim, if it came to walking, you wouldn't question yourself on whether you could walk or not. But there was a point in your life, right, where you didn't believe it was possible, where you were like, shoot, my parents are walking, but I can't figure this thing out. They didn't give me the same appendages. I don't know what's going on here. Right. Like we all have at some time didn't have belief that we could move like, if you think about how complex these digits moving the way they are, that's amazing. Right. I watched Dorina try to figure this out the other day. We were watching Star Trek and Dorina's like looking down at her hand, like Spock throws this one up and she's like trying to, I looked over and I was just like dying laughing because she's trying to figure, there she goes. Give Dorina a round of applause. We take for granted the things that took us a long time to figure out. So emotionally, if you're not feeling like you are where you belong or where you want to be, cool. That's okay. That's just information. Like Terry says, it's just information. You don't have to rely on it. It's just that in the future, you will think differently about that same exact experience. All these same triggers will be hitting you, but you'll have a different interaction. And fortunately, we've got, Dr. Terry Wager will be delivering a whole day on that at Generator Business Bootcamp. Because again, business, the techniques, like if it was all about the techniques, every one of you would be rich already, because you could just Google it. You could literally Google any technique, anything that needed to be learned on the planet. If you're not as successful as you want to be, it's because of what's going on up here. Has nothing to do with the how. Has absolutely nothing to do with how this gets done. It has absolutely everything to do with how this is wired, the amount of leverage you're using and the direction you're going in, where you're getting your feedback of the world, where you're getting who knows, we do what we want to do because there's a reward to it for us somehow. It's your reward structures. How you set up your rewards is why you have the life that you have right now. If you want to change your life, you must change your reward structure. And so Dr. Terry Wager will be working us through some processes to help us identify better rewards, better things for us to move towards. And why doesn't he do that today? It takes time. It takes time to build these things, to do these things. And we're going to spend 3 days really putting a really good strategy for maximizing your income this year at Generator Business Boot Camp. Dorina, can you drop the link for that? That's August 5th to the 7th. Excellent. Let's open up some more questions.
Things going up either later today or Monday.
Oh, okay. So link coming soon. Hands camera, if you know, all links come soon. It always happen overnight. So I want them done last week. The team is amazing. The team does, by the way, better than I know is possible. But I always want it done. The day I say, I'm like, can't we have the landing page up? Like, why not? It's not done already? I want to put up some more questions. Let's give everybody a round of applause who's already contributed. Great questions. These are valuable. Hands care if you're getting value from this, if that one impacted you on some level too. Excellent. So thank you, Kim. Thank you, Thurbin. Really, really good questions. Thank you, Amy. What else? Let's throw those hands up. Let's get one or two more in before we jump off this call. I want to make sure we're hitting everybody, serving our community to the max we can. I see there's a hand up, but I can't tell which hand it is. Just unmute your mic. Go ahead. And if not, Amy, can you grab a question from the chat? Binti.
Hi.
You got it, girl. You're up.
Hello, everyone. First thing I want to say is obviously thank you so much to a community that is dedicated to prosperous growth, because that is something that I am absolutely just so dedicated to. I'm definitely dedicated to lifetime learning as well as just self-advancement in any aspect of life. So I really, really appreciate this community, especially in the day of age where we're able to connect cyber. I feel like that's super important. So thank you for everyone's time here. Also, I wanted to say this is my second time. I'm basically a media professional. I used to be located in New York and now I'm in the Texas area. So yeah, I have some notes here that I wrote as I was talking, and I do a lot of work in communication. I have a bachelor's in communication. And I am doing everything to grow my network. For example, I just took advantage of this amazing platform called Meetup, where I noticed
Who here is familiar with Meetup? Who's used it? All right. Who here wants what she wants also? She wants to grow more people coming to her business. Anybody else want that? All right, just checking. Okay, go ahead, Binti.
Yes. So with the process of self-actualizing, I used to be living in New York and I just noticed I needed a change. So what else do I do to continue to grow my network? Like, as I said, I have a lot of interests. So I use Meetup for a lot of different things like investment, book writing, ghostwriting, all these amazing things. But what else in addition to this? Because I did sign up Alchemist Nation today. Yay.
Welcome
And
to the
I've
community.
Yes, thank you. And I see that there's the book meeting that I missed last time that I was so depressed about missing. It was recorded, so I was there. So I'm going to be able to look for that later. But what else can I do? I'm absolutely so determined and thirsty for more, and I'm obsessed with self-actualizing. I'm like super into law of attraction. I believe I'm a magnet. It's just I'm just trying to align myself everywhere. And I'll drop my LinkedIn as well to connect. But sorry, I'm
Hell yeah.
rambling, but I got a lot
Vinci,
to
you
say.
ready? You ready for a strategy that I've been giving my millionaires who have asked the same question? How do we connect with more specific people? Some of our millionaires are looking to raise capital to do big syndication deals. They do investment deals. They need to raise $1 million, $2 million. So they need a very specific type of person in their life. And so we know that who that person is, and we know where they hang out and how they interact. And so we leverage Meetup to go to those events, very specific events where those people are at. And then we follow up and build relationships by jumping on calls and hanging out with them later on, learning more about them, and then adding value to their lives.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you don't need a ton of people. And I'll be talking about this. It's so cool. I'll be talking about this at Generator Business School, like how to build that influence. And the working with investors training that I think Dorena just said she had the link. Dorena, you can drop that link. So working with investors is a training I'll be creating for how to surround yourself with 100 people that you can build with. Like, so for you, if you're looking for more people to know about you, you want to hang around 100 influencers who like, know, and trust you and would put you in front of more people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So you got to dedicate those people. And Meetup is a great resource for building those connections. Come to the Working with Investors training, even though you're not a real estate agent. We're going to be doing the same exact thing. It's how do we build networks and draw people in and teach them how to do whatever it is that we want them to do. So real estate agents want them to buy more real estate over and over so that they become wealthy. And for you may have your other product that you want to sell, but the idea is surround yourself with a community that's like-minded. And working with investors is about building a community. It's how we built Alchemist Nation. I'm going to be showing how to build your own communities. Camera, if that's something valuable to learn, how to build 100 people around you who support your business, who you want to hang with, who can actually increase your income while you're growing them. That's what working with investors is all about. But Binti, we'll go deeper into that. Absolutely.
Yes. If I could add one more thing, you spoke about community, and although you just mentioned although I'm not a real estate investor, that's my solo purpose of Meetup, is to put myself in certain doors. Like I belong in every single room. Like even if I don't know something, I can learn something. And like in Meetup, I'm in a bunch of investment groups, even I don't know much about it, but I just seek to learn. So lifetime learning is my thing, but I'll stop talking now and hope to connect shortly.
Let's give Vinci a big round of applause. By the way, who here is committed to lifetime learning, lifelong learning? That's why Millionaire is guaranteed for you. Was this a valuable training today? We get to meet some cool people today. Hell yeah. Let's continue the conversation over in Alchemist Nation. You can drop your questions, drop your shares, anything that you learned that you want to share or comment on. I did drop the seven steps today's principle in Alchemist Nation already, so you can actually go back and review it and work your way through it. If there are any questions, send us messages or drop something into alchemistnation.com. For everybody who is still on the call, thank you for hanging to the end. For everybody in the mastermind, we are connecting at 12 o'clock. I almost forgot. Everybody in the mastermind call, I know you got like 6 emails this week. I apologize for that. We're going to trim those down. Everybody in the mastermind, we're meeting at 12. Go get some lunch, go get some food. And if you have questions about how to get into the mastermind, send Dorena a text or send Amy McMurray a text or Derek Neal a text. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best.
The best.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Later,
everyone.
Bye, Binti.
Amazing session. Later.
Yes.
Have a good weekend.